Now we're live. Our Theron agrees.
We are live.
Maybe. You can never tell, man. So Schrodinger's live stream. It's full of mysterious cats.
Yes. Schrodinger.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? We are here to help you fill some time before we shoot people into the sky.
Yes. I made my Twitter post specifically about that. We know for a fact that no one is watching this, but we'll try to wrap it up before the thing happens. So,
Yes.
Yeah.
I mentioned the launch in mine too.
That'll be a thing.
Hello,
How's everybody
Brother
doing?
Jellybean. Hello, Arthur, look what I got on over here, and it's not blowing out the camera because I adjusted it. I can't put it on color changey mode though on the camera. That really kills it, and it's too bright.
It's like, white balance? What's that? White balance. Never heard of it.
Yeah. Well, this one actually, it's a purple, light purple, and it's coming through pretty good.
I see pink and white.
Yeah. Well, the purple on here is not that much different than the pink, so.
It has color to it.
Yes. I could see
it's not just a big, the roll of bloom.
Look at if I turn it down more, you could. This is the lowest setting.
See, that looks purple.
Yeah.
That looks purple.
There we go. There we go. Put it on the lowest setting. It's really amazing how bright that thing is.
LEDs.
Yeah.
They haven't
Let's
seemed
see.
bright until you've looked a Stream Deck directly, like right here in your face when you reach down to cut a computer on.
That's the lowest.
That's the lowest. What is that?
The ring light.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we can cut it.
That's green.
I didn't promise anything. All right, we're going to get going in 4
Yes.
minutes.
Yeah. Okay, I'll be right back.
So maybe we'll have a little bit of time. I get a stretch. It's winter again today. It was summer yesterday. I love this time of year. 31 day, 22 the next.
It's been holding like lowish 20s around here, which is nice. It's
That's
not,
fine. I'm down. I'm down
terribly
with it.
overwarm.
I'm down with 20s, but give me that for a week, or at least 3 days in a row, so I can acclimate to it. There's...
Yeah, no, if you go into like, 21, 22 weather from 5 or 6, like it was a couple of weeks ago.
You have shorts on. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Fan. Like,
It's like, it's God, so hot.
This is true.
I'm totally not watching the Rocket stream. Trust me.
I'm not. Anytime away from work. Man. So did you have fun playing your not Dark Souls?
Yeah. I got to make some self-deprecating jokes too in the meantime, which was nice.
I don't know, man. It's like every character in it. Is that based off of an anime?
I think it was designed and animated by anime people, yes, but that's about where that stops.
Okay, so there's not like a series.
That's probably a comic book manga thing, because there always is.
In front of a magic question box.
Code vein manga.
Okay, maybe not. All right.
No? No, it gets a manga spinoff, but no. Apparently it's all original IP. You know, that's... It's Unreal Engine 4, but it's just Dark Souls.
What was that on PlayStation?
PS4, yeah.
PS4. I will see how much of it I can... Pedro's played more of it than I have. Let's just leave it at that. I think
what
I
are you
have
talking about? I'm only level
hours.
95.
You do level up quite a bit, because after I discovered that you could level up, I went from like level whatever to like level 30.
Yeah. Because it's like, oh, I have all this haze. I can't buy anything that's worth a damn because you have to find the weapons before you can buy them. And you have to find the items before you can buy them. So it's like, oh, okay, so what do I do with all this? I already unlocked all the skills that I wanted. Oh, I know, I'll level up.
Yeah. Cold weather makes me... It's not cold weather, it's just comparatively cold weather. Plus I'm drinking stuff with ice in it because I'm me. But...
Yeah.
That'll teach me. I put pants on.
I always wear jeans. It could be, you know, in the middle of summer, scorching hot out there, and I have jeans on because I like jeans. Oh, 60-hour work weeks. Yeah, no, I've been getting a lot of that lately.
And it doesn't end because you're always at work now.
Oh no, it ends. It gets to a point where I'm like, no, I'm done. Close.
Good on you. Jean shorts, bring them back, man. Not enough people sport jean shorts anymore.
Jean corsairs.
I hate those.
Like
I always
the
hated
long
those.
shorts. Those were as close to shorts as I ever wore. You know, except for the rare occasions that someone found me at the beach. Then I had also, you know, below the knee swimming trunks, but
Okay.
yeah, they were below the knee.
Yeah, I had pairs like my brother did that I like jean shorts, but they just weren't good to play volleyball and activities in. But around the house, they're great.
When I
I
finish
still like
Skyrim
shorts.
job, I gotta finish the Black Mesa playthrough first, so it's gonna be a minute.
Icarus Factor. Hello, Icarus Factor?
What about the pants with like the big blown out legs that were popular for about 30 seconds in the late 90s?
Oh, the bell
know-
bottoms?
No, not bell bottoms. I'm like skater pants, man. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh,
yeah.
just the baggy pants. Okay, all right.
Yeah, they're just
The
long,
big, massive
knee length.
pants. Pants are ankle length, by definition. But
Oh, I thought you meant skater shorts. Sorry.
No, pants.
Okay, because shorts are more worn around here for skating.
Daisy Dukes. Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, and true that, Steve husband. Elon. Yay, biggest NASA fanboy. He is awesome.
what were they called?
Oh, so what mug? Guess what, Arthur? And I have a SpaceX mug. This one,
Relevant.
yes, Steve had he had gone on a tour of SpaceX, and then he actually got to witness the second launch of one of their rockets, and this was the original logo. It's actually changed a bit since then. Yay!
These things. Let's see.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, the shuffle pants.
You know what
Yeah.
that is.
That
The
shoe,
ones-
go back up.
Those are more gangster pants. I don't know.
David Beckham. Yes. Yeah, no, those are the shuffle pants. Oh, God. It's the Joker.
Horrible. Oh, horrible. Hey, Aldius. You in there?
All right, we're gonna get on to it.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll watch the launch at around 1:30, 1:33, hopefully. If the weather holds up, it was pretty stormy looking.
Yeah, if they don't if they don't have to say BRB tornado.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did say there's a 60% chance that this could all go
Yeah.
things up, so yeah. Where's my what?
Huh?
I've never worn a pair of those pants.
No.
In
Oh,
Portugal, I
God.
remember when I was a kid, the rage were like those checkered, like jeans with suspenders integrated that go all the way to like here.
Yeah.
You know, like work
a
jeans
thing in the
style, but
90s.
they were black and white checkered.
Oh, you mean like overalls?
Yes.
Yes, but also no.
Because they're not overall. They stop at about right here.
Yeah.
And then it's just
They were
suspenders.
extra high.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, no, I remember like at least 3 or 4 kids in my class used to wear those like every day. It's like, that looks goddamn awful. But then I got made fun of because I had to be the odd man out. Well, the
Yeah.
odd child out.
Well, what it was is that was a harken back to the 80s of the high-waisted pants with suspenders, and that came back again when you were younger. Those were a thing. I actually had a pair in high school. But yeah, they were checkered and very Valley Girl.
All right, we are locked and loaded, ready to go.
The internet didn't come to Portugal till like 1999, so
Oh, okay. maybe they just thought the style had never changed.
And welcome back to Linux Weekly Daily Wednesdays, where we can sit back, relax, take that
Hello.
midweek break, talk about some of the fun things we found going on in the world of open source. I'm Vin Stone, that is Joe Bryan, and over there is Pedro Mateus, and everyone.
hello.
Hopefully, maybe you're back to work if you
Hello,
want to
hello.
be, or maybe you're not if you don't want to be. I hope everything's working out for you, but you're watching this live. That's brilliant. Joining us in chat. Kind of a big week. We got a lot of things. We're going to talk about Linus's new computer. Gnome did some good, and yeah, some audio stuff I played around with. Speaking of, no, let's just start with Jill, because you're doing something that is what I would call cleaning with a bunch of extra words thrown in.
Okay, so I've been reorganizing my vintage computer collection in our garage. And one of the reasons is that Steven needs to make his studio a bit bigger these days. So,
Oh, you got told off. You got told you had to clean your room, didn't you?
No, it's very clean and neat. I'm just compressing it, trying to make it in a smaller area so it doesn't take
Pedro,
up half the
haven't
garage.
you watched Hoarders? It gets higher.
Yeah, it gets higher. It does.
That's how people get trapped in their house and they find them years later because things fall over on them.
Well, these are on big rolling. Oh, all my computer equipment is in plastic bins on big moving rolling racks, so they don't get any dust. They're clean and they're organized.
Oh yeah,
But
those
they're on
cancers will give out.
rollers.
Anything new with you,
Ben.
Pedro?
I'm not really. Even the thing that I ordered off eBay got delayed because it was a bank holiday on Monday, which was nice. I got to play a lot more Code Vein. So.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah. It was basically I got up, wait a second. Oh, today is a bank holiday. Oh, great. That means I can go play Code Vein.
Yay.
You got me beat. I was like, man, I've put 6 hours, and then it's like, Pedro's put like a week already. I'm like, how'd you do that? There's not been that many hours.
Yeah. I use that amulet that they have in Harry Potter because, it's local. So I just twirled it a few times. I got a few extra hours off the day.
If you say so, man. I really don't know. What have I been doing? I don't have the box.
You've
I've been
busy?
hacking Stream Decks. I bought one of the like little YouTuber specials. I'm like, yo, what's up, fam? It's your boy, Vin Mint. And so I can like press buttons and have pictures and stuff and all that. I just want to see what the process was with getting one working with Linux. It's a bit roundabout, and I'm going to make it like, I'm putting an extra roundabout in your roundabout. I'm going to exhibit this thing and make it work with a OBS WebSockets. But I'll have that out maybe later this week. I was going to have it like put together today, but I got up this morning and the internet's like, nah, no upload speed for you. So that was like 8 o'clock this morning, getting in touch with Charter, and they're like, we got it fixed. Then what else? Oh yeah, this thing that I've been playing with for almost a month now.
Yeah.
Black Magic was like, you know what? Do you want to send that back to us so we can take a look at it? I'm like, not really, but yes. Also yes. So hopefully that gets sorted out. So I look forward to ripping this thing out of Threadbooper and putting the other ones back in. And hopefully there will not be any delays. And they'll send me one back that works. And that'll be nice. I'll be happy. Maybe.
That would be nice, yeah.
A little bit.
Very nice.
So let's get right into it because we have rockets to watch.
Yes.
Very sure.
Yes, we do. We do very much want to pay attention to that particular live stream. But before we get to that, we need to talk about that patent case that GNOME had leveled against them because it's been resolved and they reached an out of court. I want to say amicable resolution. It probably wasn't all that friendly while they were hashing it out, but they managed to. GNOME didn't pay anything, which is awesome. And they had a bunch of pro bono lawyers, which was also really awesome. Sherman and Sterling did a very good job on that one. And they not only did they not pay anything and be allowed to continue to develop and distribute Shotwell, which was the core of the patent issue, but also all of the patents that are currently a part of Rothschild patent imaging, the 100 and something patents that they currently hold, can't be leveraged against GNOME. It's a bit specific. It's GNOME specifically, but the head honcho, Lee M. Rothschild, did say that, what was this actual quote? Because I totally called BS on it. It's like, I'm especially, no, that's the GNOME one. There it is. I'm pleased that we managed to settle this issue amicably. I've always supported the innovation of open source software and its developers and encouraged its innovation and adoption. BS! Complete bull frickin' horse crap.
Yeah, so gosh. So true, Pedro. And since this became an issue, like we talked about last October, I've actually been wondering how long this would take to get resolved, and I was concerned about the outcome. Well, it's the best possible outcome, and I'm so happy it got resolved so quickly. And it's really, truly a win for the future of open source software. Way to go, GNOME. And, thank you to the Linux community for supporting GNOME monetarily and getting the word out in the fight against patent trolls. That was just awesome. Everyone came to their aid. So cool.
Yeah, I think they have a better understanding about open source, and you don't want to stick your arm in that hornet's nest. It will come back at you, and it will come back at you hard. But
yeah,
this has been resolved for the best. Best possible outcome would have been, if they just get it completely dismissed with prejudice, so this could never happen to anyone again. But At least they didn't have to burn through a lot of cash for a prolonged legal battle of any type.
Yeah.
Linus has
Yay!
upgraded his Ambra Sprinta 486.
Oh, this is exciting. So, after 15 years of using Intel-based CPUs, the creator of Linux, Linus Torvalds, is now rocking an AMD Threadripper. Yay! Way to go, Linus. So happy Linus got a 39070X 32-core 64-thread beast for compiling the Linux kernel. And, what's interesting, and what I was asking now, the real question is, did he get an AMD GPU like Pedro is going to talk about with Crow Hartman, or from at Level 1 Techs, or did he get an NVIDIA GPU? And it was funny because this morning they released the hardware that he bought for his system, but the GPU is not included. So I'm still asking, what GPU, Linus? He must have some reason why he hasn't announced that yet. But everything else is there. The motherboard, which is the Gigabyte Aorus Master TRX 40, which is a classic for a Threadripper. And a nice Be Quiet case, because he wanted quiet, just like we do.
Honestly, I saw the article, and it's like, then I also saw the integrated video that shows, oh, we're building a whisper quiet Threadripper for Greg Crow Hartman. It's like, oh, hello. Awesome. So it's Wendell's video from Level 1 Techs, and he actually goes through the whole build process like, oh, the Noctua NHD15 cools 3970X without issue. Huh. How about that?
Okay. Yeah.
Like Frank's back. He got done self-isolating, but he's covering up Linus. Saying NVIDIA's #1 and mono.
Yes.
Poster back there. Welcome to the wild and wacky world that is Threadripper land, as I've been playing, experimenting with, and learning myself over the last year. I'm going to say this for anyone listening. If you're looking to build a gaming rig or anything like that, unless you absolutely, positively need 64 PCI lanes, get a 3950. What do you have? You have
a 3700X?
More than enough. More than capable. Because you are in for a world of bizarrely overpriced equipment. And just
especially motherboards.
Weird RAM stuff, weird compatibility issues, and as soon as you bring Threadripper to the QA party, they're like, "Oh, that's probably the problem." Like, no, it's not. Everything else works. So good on Linus, and yeah, that's a big jump. So he'll be able to play X Bill.
Oh, yeah. And the other important thing about this is actually this is really good for AMD. They see this as a feather in their cap now that two giants of Linux are using their processors.
This is the first time Intel not Intel. This is the first time Linus has went to AMD. He's been on Intel for the past 15 years. So.
Yeah.
That's
deal.
Pretty cool.
I mean, he's a bit late to the party because... everyone else was, Ryzen's all the rage, and then Google and Dell and HP started eyeing the EPYC processors and going, So, yeah.
Oh, man. Check this out. So,
Yay!
You're looking for something to download your Linux ISOs with? Hey.
Yeah. So, after more than 2 years, the Transmission 3.0 open source BitTorrent client has been released with major improvements and visual polish. And one of the cool things they added is Peer ID for torrent and download clients, including support for Baidu NetDisk, Free Download Manager, Folks, PicoTorrent, and XF Play. And they improved support for IPv6 addresses in the RPC server, as well as throughout the app in general. And as you know, there's two different clients of Transmission, the GTK one and the QT one. Well, the GTK Plus client received keyboard shortcuts for Q up and down, a modern desktop file, app data file, a symbolic icon variant for GNOME's desktop top bar, and a high contrast theme. is really cool.
How were
And
those not there already?
I know, it was a very
You didn't need all that to
very
download
classic.
Linux ISOs.
It was a very classic looking program. But apparently the Qt client now supports Qt 5.2 and looks much better on high DPI 4K displays. So I still need to test the Qt client. So
the newer versions of Qt actually have proper high DPI support. Yeah.
Yeah. And this is really important because transmission is not only the default included in Ubuntu for downloading BitTorrents, but I use it as my go-to client for downloading Linux ISOs. So it's because it's installed by default.
Linux ISOs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And some other things. But
we do not talk about the other things.
Pedro, I've
Linux
heard
ISOs.
they've even updated the translations.
They have. There's a bunch of new translations available, including Afrikaans, Catalan, Danish, Greek, Norwegian. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. Slovenian have been added, as well as they've finalized the Portuguese from Portugal translation. It's finally available in Moonspeak.
Don't you love it when it has Portuguese?
Yes, I do very much appreciate it. And, what I'm about to say, just, the Brazilian people out there
Should
listening
I just
to
go
this,
ahead and hit the
what are you
mute
doing?
button? I mean, this is going to save me time.
No, but the Brazilian Portuguese translation that was in transmission was frankly poor. Because it was clearly a translation designed by programmers, by the people who just wanted okay, that's in Portuguese, that's good enough, just deal with it. And some of the options were frankly wrong, and other settings were just completely incomprehensible. So yeah, no, there are a lot of really good Brazilian Portuguese translators out there. It's just that they're not using Linux. From the look of things, because it's not good.
And also something I had to throw back. Now, when it comes to applications like this, I think a well-designed GUI application, you don't have to read anything.
Yes.
But
it's mostly about the settings and setting limits and setting NAT ports and setting stuff like that. When you get into the nitty-gritty of a torrent client, I suppose, it does pay to have well-defined sections, well-defined options, clear descriptions of what things do, and
takes
transmission
all of the
does not have
it. It needs good translation for technobabble.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thinking about when I was seeing the update to transmission, I saw another post on Twitter that I forget the name of the client, but it was a download client. I was like, when was the last time I ever used a download client? Remember those?
Yeah, 90s.
Yeah. I used to use, what was it, Down the Mall?
Okay.
Oh, yes,
because
I remember that
it let you download pictures from those websites that didn't let you download them, and people were too lazy to go look in the source code.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, I used to use Down the Mall, but I don't remember exactly why I stopped using it. I think I read some news. It's like, if you're using this, stop right now. It's been spreading malware to people. It's like, all right, okay.
Oh, man. Then you just went back or you searched for it on Kazaa again.
Yeah.
LimeWire, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Don't forget FrostWire.
Email.
That was the thing.
Emil.
Yeah. Yes.
Bear share. Check this out. Adore 6.0, it's finally out. This has been in works forever. Release notes, bunch of big stuff. Full latency compensation, way better MIDI handling, better plugin management, support for the Behringer Direct Touch 1 that's currently sitting next to me, and bugs, and more bugs, and well, that's part of an Adore release. There's actually one bug that has been present since I've been compiling this and following with nightly builds, that I just can't use it here until it gets sorted. It's a latency issue with the way it's working with the buses. But if you are the adventurous type, give it a try. Now, you might notice if you click the download button, I know some people get confused. You'll go to the download page. source code is completely free. You can go to Git, clone it. Hopefully, depending how this week shapes up, I'll have a video for everyone on how to build it, because there's a big honking dependency list that you have to kind of sort out. And that's nowhere on the site, because the site's like, no, it's impossible to build. It's wizard stuff. Stay away. Give us about tree fitting and we'll give you the binary, which is perfectly fair, 100%, which I do. But it's also, if you want to test it yourself, I want to build stuff myself. Have fun with it.
Yeah. Well, I thought it was cool that Ardor 6.0 now supports FLAC recording, which I know a lot of people in Linux podcasting use FLAC for recording.
Yeah.
And there are now official ARM binaries, 32 and 64-bit builds for Linux for the Raspberry Pi and many other ARM devices, of course. And it also supports NetBSD, FreeBSD, and OpenSolaris. Yeah, so win for Ardor, and it shows it's getting even more support on the Nixes. It's really good.
Maybe that'll be a fun video project. Take out one of my Sun stations. I'm like, let's build an audio.
Yes. There you go. Hey, it'd probably work really well. Nice and stable.
You can start that series by let's install latest version of Solaris.
It's like, hey, I can record higher fidelity audio than these fiber channel drives can record. I'm just overwhelmed right there.
Yes.
Very much so.
That's cool. It's a thing. It's going to need a lot of testing. Anybody who's ever messed around with the DAWs, if you're using Ardor, hey, 5.3, it's stable. Leave it alone. Not broke. Don't fix.
Yeah.
But I want to give this a quick mention. This is something I ran across as with any young boy or girl's journey through it, you get to the point where you just try to automate everything. Okay? It's going to happen to you. If it hasn't happened to you yet, this is going to be your future. And one thing I want to do is we use Jack, which means we have a matrix, a patch bay of inputs and outputs and routing, and all that has to get sorted every time the Jack server starts up. Traditionally, you'd use something like Lattice or a front end for Lattice, Claudia. Just save that session, and then all of your routes. It can be something crazy elaborate, or something as simple as I need these two inputs to go to this output, or something like I have here, which is probably 15 or 20. And when it gets routed through with the pulse, Jack syncs, and all around back to OBS and mix minus and all that. Well, without having to deal with that overhead, plus the ability to just being able to launch it, I wanted a script and I was getting ready to just really go into a deep dive. Okay, how do I get all this and this? Fortunately, I ran across, this is not new, but it's been around for a while. You
can tell by the website.
Yeah.
That's not new.
Yes.
This is AJ Snapshot, which does exactly what it says on the tin. This will work with ALSA. This will work with Jack.
Nice.
You get all your settings. You take the snapshot. Then, once you're launching everything, I have new boop, which is just a shell script that I put together that once Jack loads, everything's synced up with NetJack. Makes all the connections for me. I just run that one script and I'm done with it. So I know for the vast majority, you're like, I don't care if maybe the one or two people, they're like, oh, what? That's the thing? Yes, this is the thing. Go use it. You'll be very happy. Now,
I mean, for me,
nice.
It might as well be kanji, but it seems more useful than the other snaps. All right, I'm done. Let's not go down that track.
Just couldn't help itself. It's like, man, it's been a minute.
Yes, it has. I was getting a bit antsy.
If we want to keep up with the audio stuff, I also released a new episode of Interfacing Linux. This one's covering the M-Audio Profiler 2626. This is what we are currently using. It has replaced. I just bought this out of curiosity because it was $20 on eBay. I'm like, let's see if we can get one of these working. It'd be a fun video. Little did I know that I was purchasing the next interface for everything I do in the studio. And turns out this was it. Everything works, including it has an internal mixer built into it. So you can do some weird, crazy things. And that's really fun. I enjoyed it. It has replaced the FCA 1616. It is Firewire. None of that fancy newfangled USB stuff. No, sir, not in my house. 8 channels is awesome. for around, I said you could play this for like $20. But if I paid $200 for it, I'd be happy with it. And, with all things in this series that I'm doing, look, hang on, look, there's no man playing guitar.
Oh, I love that.
And I ran it through, this is a legitimate real world LGC session. Everything's loaded up, boom, just making it record on all the inputs, and it passed. I didn't have any problems with it. And the whole point of this is taking advantage of what Linux can do. FireWire devices under Windows 10 and Mac are just falling off. That's why people are trying to get rid of this stuff. I mean, this was a $480, not $480, 480 pound interface when it released.
Yeah.
Yeah. And not expensive. This was like prosumer type stuff. Got it for $20 because the dude's like, I can't find anybody to take it. It doesn't work with anything. And I'm like, hang on a minute. So
I have this PCIe card.
Yeah, because the FireWire cards, they still make them now, and they're PCIe. Buy one, just pop that in, plug it in. Didn't have to do anything crazy. Just set it up, and it works. And you can take advantage of this stuff. You can get an 8-channel interface, like really good preamps, all the ADAT you want, SPDIF, all that fun stuff, for like $20, $50, $75. I mean, if you're patient and you find the next person who's like, somebody take this, pay for shipping.
Yeah.
So make of that what you will. What do we have up next?
Up next, we have, we have MPV on Windows, and whoever posted that particular link in the show notes was browsing our Linux sucks. But, that aside, the developers of MPV, if you are, using Linux on the desktop, chances are you've heard of MPV, have added just a teeny tiny little, 3 lines to the README, which reads, note, quote-unquote direct Windows support is deprecated, complete with GL/Vulkan support by Microsoft's WSL2. This will enable running Linux binaries under Win32, and owing to Microsoft's competence, it will be faster than native.
Yes.
So, what's happening? Well, I could tell what's happening because I actually read through the whole thread until it got locked. But it's...
That's how you can always spot a good GitHub thread.
Yeah.
What's in this
it
one?
got locked. All right, I got to read all of it.
Yep.
Yes.
But yeah, it's basically the developers are saying that with Microsoft implementing WSL2, which we talked about last week, and that, of course, brings all the DirectX 12 bits, and in future will support OpenGL, Vulkan, whatever. Microsoft are currently working on that. And the developer is like, oh, it's going to have that, is it? Okay, then people can just use WSL2 to run MPV on Windows. And there's a bunch of Windows users going, I don't like that. I don't like that at all, because it means I'm going to have to use WSL to use a GUI application. And then someone at one point, it's like the embodiment of common sense and pragmatism is like, no one chooses an operating system based on a media player. Actually, and I like that there was someone who disagreed with that.
Did somebody walk into the room, kick in the door, take off his traffic code, and he's like, what?
At that point, it might as well.
Yeah. I like how the developer talked about how hard it is to develop on Windows and how easy it is on Linux, and why you shouldn't even have to bother porting it because of the WSL2. So
don't they have? I mean, VLC runs on.
Oh
that
yeah,
was
VLC
also one of
has a
the
native.
arguments that got brought up, and that same person that said that yes, people do choose operating systems based on media players contested the fact that VLC was a viable alternative because it was bloated.
VLC's
I'm not
bloated.
joking.
And crashy on Windows, yes, at times.
One thing I genuinely love about MPV is I use it when I'm doing the timestamps because it has a very fast scrubbing.
Yeah,
With
it's
keyboards,
based
I
on
can
MPlayer after all. So
and just run it through. So,
Yeah.
And as a media player goes, it does decoding with completely negligible overhead. Like the T42 ThinkPad that I have, it can't play videos on YouTube through a browser anywhere above 480p. It just starts chugging. I can feed it a 720p video directly from a YouTube thing, and it plays it without a hitch. It's like, oh, well, all right then.
I use MPlayer on all of my old machines, including my Mac G4 Cube, which was my entertainment PC for a long time. And with MPlayer, I could actually play 1080p video on it. With the default players that come on Mac, you could only get up to 720. So MPlayer is just awesome,
Well, the good
even on
thing
older
is
equipment.
we're all currently in 2020, and even our $100 Amazon tablet can play 1080p. So
Yeah.
the dark days of I genuinely remember this. These were before dual core get off my lawn moment of like trying to play a 720p video that I downloaded off the internet, and I think it was like Dig Nation or something like that. It just couldn't do it. Then we finally got the NVIDIA accelerated with MPlayer. Not NV, what was it?
NVIDIA PAU?
Yep, Vatapu. And then all of a sudden we could play 720p. It's like, oh, this is amazing. That was brilliant. So there's your history lesson. Let's talk about our favorite topic. And, well, it's not even a topic. It's just an excuse to do this. Yes. Microsoft loves Linux.
But that wasn't always the case, and that is the topic of today's ZDNet article, which one of the people who were in charge of Windows specifically, who worked for Microsoft, obviously, Steven Sinofsky, he's releasing a book, and he gave an interview to a bunch of different websites about specifically one of the things that he covers in the book is, well, the early noughties, all through the 90s and the late 80s, when Microsoft was very much against the idea of open source in any shape or form. And he basically says, like, yeah, Bill Gates felt personally attacked that an open source model could develop and distribute software because...
Dude, if you want to like put a bow on it, look at that, man. I mean, Gates' explanation of the GPL in 2001, and I quote, makes it impossible for a commercial company to use any of that work or build on any of that work, which I think... That's... No. That seems like a nicer way of saying, we can't just straight up yoink it and not contribute anything back. That's not, wait, that's the, it's not somehow fair. So, Matt.
That was basically the anti-Steve Jobs clause, but whatever. For Bill Gates, and that quote was perfect. That was flying in the face of what Microsoft was trying to do. It's like, no, we are developing software, and don't smack the microphone.
Maybe
we're developing software and we want to make money out of it. And if you're a hobbyist that's sharing, like, you know, the literal basic punch cards and you're sharing those with your friends, then you're a thief. You're a damn thief and a criminal, and you should go to jail.
Now I just want a time machine, or I need to make. See, it'd be great if I'd already thought I had to make the meme. Just a picture of Steve Jobs in 2001, just laughs in BSD.
Yeah. But yeah, no, to Microsoft, open source was an enemy to put down because of the way that Bill Gates thought that the whole thing worked, and that kind of translated to an entire culture within the company. And let's face it, Steve Ballmer was Gates' lapdog, sock puppet, call it whatever you want. He wasn't a very good head of Microsoft, but yeah, it carried on and spilled into the noughties when Steve Ballmer said that Linux was cancer. So yeah.
I don't know if I'd tango with Ballmer. I've seen him chase hovering cake on stage.
I've seen him sweat profusely. Oh wait, I guess that just means I saw him.
You could almost, I mean, we got developers. I mean, that's a gift. It might not have been intentional, but.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure he was deadly serious trying to create hype on stage, and it tanked.
Definitely. And, indeed, the rise of open source came about on the backs of proprietary, and in doing so became much more progressive. And even further back in history, when Unix was king, when I started learning computers, Windows was the less expensive option when it came along with Windows 3.1 and whatnot. And it became very common on server with Windows NT. And then the open source Linux upstart came along and disrupted the whole industry. Yay! So yeah, those $20,000 Unix software for each workstation was no longer $20,000. Needed to be, yeah. So to Windows credit, they did offer a less expensive option.
The article actually says it's like, yeah, Windows and Microsoft, by extension, lost the server market because, hey, guess what? Linux was free. It's like, you probably had to pay someone to learn Linux and to explain Linux to everyone else in the company, but that was minimal when compared to the licensing that Microsoft was offering.
Well, it always rolls around, man. I mean, now it's software as a service, and you're going to be dealing with like support contracts. And this is what hey, Microsoft, that's your business model. Well, you're working on making it that. Times have changed. Times are strange. But I like this brave new world that we get to live in. It's kind of fun.
Yes. Awesome.
Yeah. Okay. All right. We got to get into a slice of pie, but we got a gang of people. We got to thank for helping us out.
Yes.
We'd like to give them a mention, take a little break and be like, hey, man, thank you. And you for supporting the show. If you want to do that, it's patreon.com/Linux Gamecast. We got a little deal there where we can hook you up with some stuff, a little, extra thank yous. You know what I'm saying? No, not that. That other thing. Yeah, that other thing, right? What else do we have? Oh, if you want to buy some merch, we got store.linuxgamecast.com. I think that redirects. It's got, let's see, what do we have?
It used to.
It might. Yeah. We got the Hellhawks. We got the Three Face. This show, LWDW. We got the Frig Files, all the fun stuff. And it's kind of brilliant.
Yay!
I don't know. What else do we have, Pedro?
Well, we have
Wish zones. Yeah, that's the
we have wish lists. I have one, Jill has one, Jordan has one, and of course Ven decided that he didn't want one. He's like, no, it's just gonna be for the studio.
For the studio.
So there's a studio wish list there too.
Yes.
What? I'm only bending the truth a little bit.
No, that's it. I sit around I couldn't think of anything to, like, if I want something, I just go buy it, man.
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm still poor, so I can't buy everything I want immediately.
Yeah, but you don't see you don't spend like 5 minutes going, which one of these mustards do I want? This one is 8 cents cheaper.
No, I don't buy mustard. Nori does. I don't know. You can ask her.
See, at least somebody in that house makes sense.
Yuck. I hate mustard.
Now I just want to make Pedro mustard and pea smoothie.
Ew.
I'm not allergic to mustard.
I know, that's what the peas are for.
Ew.
Oh, so you want to kill me and make me hated.
Listen, those are your words. Those are your words. All right, beautiful people. Let's get into.
We have lots of
people.
We
gotta do the reads.
Yes. Yeah. We got some thanks.
So Darkwing is now a sea monster at the sea monster level. Yay! We love you, Darkwing. And we have a new patron, AJD. And I don't know.
AJ.
I have to look at
new patron.
Yeah, a new patron. I have to look at what level they're on, if they're in Discord yet. But Aldius gifted Ven lots of games, and he's gifted us so many games over the last few years. He's so awesome.
I think Aldius has been prolific. Aldius and Theron.
Yes.
They're the two ones that immediately pop into my head. It's like, oh, you gifted me a game, didn't you? Yes, you did.
Yeah, it was kind of weird, man. Everyone decided to give us like multiple copies of Dark Weep.
That was you. And it was Aldius and Kai Linux.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kai
They
Linux.
both gifted you Code Vein.
Yeah. And what was awesome is Treggy in chat had gifted me the shirt actually quite a while ago, and I kept forgetting to wear it. Now I'm wearing it. So I wanted to thank him because I love the shirt.
Nice. Thanks. I mean, it's kind of interesting that we've all been able to come together and pull this off. So
Somehow.
Yes.
somehow.
Yeah, because of all you wonderful people.
It's always a fun explanation when I'm showing people, like, wait, how does that work? I'm like, it's held together with tape, but we can get more tape if we need to, but let's keep it held together.
Yes.
Yeah,
We have a tape fund.
pretty much. maybe some string every couple of months. You know, if we decide to get that. It is brilliant. Let's get into this week's.
Yeah, so this
Let's
is going to be really
See,
cool.
that's not even like
Ooh,
retro
that's-
hipster pixels. That's just the only picture I can
No, that's
find
just
for
flat
That's
pie.
just-
this.
That's
That's
just
Yeah.
old
Android.
fashioned.
That's just low polygon graphics. So this is Liligo has released its latest smartwatch, the TTGO T-Watch T2020.
Rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, it does. I know. Yes, no, it doesn't.
Because everyone's
Anyways.
going to call it the twatch.
The Twatch.
Done.
There you
Oh,
go.
That's
Yeah.
it. Done.
That works. It is highly customizable, has a 1.54-inch touch display that also will display color. It has Wi-Fi and supports Arduino. And at the low cost of $23.40 plus $4 shipping, just about anyone can have this smartwatch. It's amazing. And I just added
That's
myself
really
to the
good.
watch, to the wait list because they've sold out of the initial batch. So I'm on the wait list now. So I'll be notified when it becomes available. And so can you.
Hmm.
Yes. And
When
the
am I-
Arduino compatibility has me curious.
Yes.
It's like, just how far can you take that? Exactly.
When are we finally going to get a smart pocket watch?
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
beak
you can make
hipster.
yourself.
Like,
Just
I'm
take the
sorry,
Liligo and
man.
take the straps off and put a hook on it. There you go.
I mean, if I'm going to be carrying around a wholly
No, it really works like
useless device in 2020, it needs to be a little bit bigger than that. Because
okay.
wristwatch, useless device in 2020 because you get your mobile on you.
Sorry,
like pocket
Ben says you're
watches, too.
useless.
It is. You know it's useless. You don't have it on right now.
Yes, because I'm not out of the house.
Exactly.
There's not, people looking at me. That's literally the only reason I wear it.
It's jewelry. Thank you. I stand uncorrected. That's kind of brilliant. I like it. It makes it genuinely, when I was reading this, I wondered to myself, I was like, where's my Pebble?
Oh, yeah. I never picked one of those up, but I know you
It's
did.
gone. I don't know where it was never a use thing. I bought it like as a curiosity. His picture was like, oh, look, it's got Arduino, like Pebble didn't. But I was like, oh, at the time, it takes Bluetooth notification. Oh, it's neat, and played with it for like half a day, and it's somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had the same feeling this would be like, oh, that's neat. 5 years later.
The
where's that
Liligo looks interesting, but there's another smartwatch that I'm very curious about, which is the Pine one.
Oh,
The
yeah,
Pine
yeah.
Watch. Yeah. Whenever they decide to release that, if they haven't already.
I know,
They probably
man.
did, and I missed it.
It's the Pine thing. Pine's got a one of everything. You think about it. Tablet, phone, watch.
Laptop.
Yeah. You got the Pine
Yeah.
ecosystem.
Give me a Pine Pocket watch. I'll buy one.
Yeah, there you go, Ben. You should contact them on
Gold-plated,
Twitter and let them
too.
know. Or just send them the video.
So, a much wanted feature has finally shown up in the Raspberry Pi Beta firmware.
Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, yes.
This is awesome.
So,
See,
yes,
Pedro
the new-
messes with me sometimes because he'll launch such a blank stare into the camera. I'm like, what, did you forget?
No. That was more for
And Pedro
the,
just looks up from his nap and he goes, acting.
That was purely for the entertainment of the video watchers, but no, the Raspberry Pi 4 has a new beta firmware, which you can get right now if you want to, do the beta testing thing and let them know of any issues that can and most likely will arise. And the big thing that at least this article makes mention of is you can use the USB 3 ports, which are in a proper USB 3 bus this time around, to boot. You no longer have to use the SD card. You can use it if you want to expand the storage, but you can have a USB 3 SSD plugged into there, and all of a sudden things work a little bit faster.
A little bit.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this version, depending on what they do with it, it needs to be enshrined. This is like, okay, this is the turning point. This is when it happened. Or, the Raspberry Pi Foundation just goes, it's official now, and we're just going to cut the BS, and there you go. Have that. It's like, all right, cool.
Yeah, I mean, they do straight out come and say, there be bugs. Use at your own risk. Which is just boilerplate of like, don't blame us, have fun. This is good, especially when it's out of the box, because then you can take one of your itsy bitsy teeny weeny little like 128 gig. I love living in this future. Pop it right in the ear.
Yeah, it's so nice.
Yeah,
we've been waiting for this.
128 gigs.
Yeah. Yeah, we've been waiting for this since the first Raspberry Pi was released. So this is one of the most wanted features, and it's here now, and you can demo it.
Or just booting off thumb drives, USB 3 thumb drives.
Yeah.
It's like, being able to swap them out, because you know what's a lot less difficult to lose? A thumb drive.
Yeah.
You know those micro SD? Those things are gone.
Those SD cards are.
The micro SDs, I have straight up lost 3. One's under my oven, which will be there when the next person buys this house, because I'm just like, you know what? I don't want it bad enough, man.
They're just fused to the floor from all the constant heating.
It's like, well, that's gone. Thumb drive.
And unlike Ben, I've never lost anything, so I'm too careful.
I challenge that.
Yeah.
I challenge that so much. Steve.
Actually, only 2 things in my whole life have I lost.
Now none of the stories are really changing. I was like, whoa, wait, what? I didn't say you were
I
going
know.
to bring Steve
I exaggerated.
That's the last thing. If you want to get in touch with us, we really don't have time to go through anything. But how would they do that, Pedro? If you want to send us a message.
You could do that very easily. It's linuxgamecast.com, contact button, there's a form. Pick LWDW from the shows, send us your message, that's it. Unless your message can be answered by looking in the first page of Google, then you done goofed, and it's on you.
Fair enough. You can leave a YouTube comment, no guarantees on that, but we do read
Patreon comments. Those are good
comments. Those always go through. That's the thing. We got to get out of here. We got to go watch something get shot into space, man. So
yes, yay!
Let's roll some credits.
Okay.
Maybe. Little credits.
And thank you again, Daisy. You are AJD, which I wasn't sure, but I figured so. So thank you so much, Daisy. And it's nice to have another lady in our fold.
Assumptions?
Yeah. Well, she said in chat when I announced it, she said it was her. So.
I like how both me and Mir had the exact same reaction to that.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So she
Jill's
commented
still assuming that Daisy's only a female.
See, she says, hi, Jill, thanks, because she said it in chat when I announced the name. Yes, Daisy could be a Borg. No, she isn't. But
see you next
wonderful.
week, everyone.
We love you guys.
Hi.
Come on. There we go.
Come on, Daisy. That was 50-50 on that one.
Yeah. Yes, Daisy, you are, but that's not going to stop Jill.
Yes, there goes Ben.
Yeah, no, seriously, go watch the thingy live stream it, Bob. Chances are you have a 1080p monitor, you can just have another window and have us on in the background. Mute the commentary wherever you're watching. Trust me.
What are you talking about? I'm watching it right now.
I still have that tab open.
Steven's like, I'm out of here. Bye, guys. He's getting the TV ready for... He's been watching it on his Amazon Fire.
A quick count, in front of me, I have 7 monitors, so I'm good.
Yeah.
I only have 2. Because I live in a teeny tiny place.
Yeah. I
I
got
just
3
have in
big
front of me. I
monitors.
can.
Just like Ben has a big monitor. Me and him have.
I have a
the same
TV,
43
yes. But even that was Nathan's. Thanks, Nathan.
Oh, that was so nice of him.
It's like, oh, you literally just moved to another country. I have a TV in my garage. Do you want it?
See, me and Nathan would get along. Like, I've been trying to give this something away. Hey, how you doing? Yeah, we haven't met yet. Here, have this. Take that with you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, my friend. Go ahead,
Did a bit
Pedro.
of a swap. It's like, well, I have this computer. It needs a power supply, but everything else works. It's like, oh, I'll take it.
Very cool. Yeah, my friend Sharon, Linux Chicks LA Sharon, she has 3 big screen TVs and literally has a hard time giving them away. She doesn't have space in her apartment for a big one. So we have one that we use at scale, which I have here at the house. And then she gave another one as a Christmas present to someone. And then there was another one. I think that one ended up going on her wall, but it was just kept winning TVs. And this was all within a year.
Oh,
She
God,
kept
hide the
winning
chat.
contests. Oh, I know. Look at that flying by. Here we go.
Oh, I got him. 30 minutes.
Yeah. We did good. They're on time, so that's really good to hear.
This just makes me wonder. It makes me think, who did Elon put in the first spacesuit that he put in outside of orbit to space?
I think he wanted to jump into it.
Well, when he shot his Tesla into space with the spacesuit,
Spaceman.
I'm just saying, if you needed to get rid of a body,
Yeah.
It's just a mannequin.
Right. That's get out of jail free card right there. It's like, who's going to check that?
It's like, you want to go to Mars to check out that?
T-minus 15. It's going to be fun to watch. It looks like the weather's clearing up too, so.
Yes.
Still cloudy on the horizon, but you can see, like, the sun is shining.
Yay.
No meatballs in sight.
Nope.
That'll be good. Another 14 minutes. So what do you got going on tonight, Pedro?
Dinner at some point.
Uh-huh.
Probably after this is done. It's
You haven't thrown me any curveballs yet. All right, okay.
No.
Okay, yeah.
I lead a very, very boring life. I do IT support, and I like to play video games, and for some reason I've managed to find someone who also likes me, because she also likes to play video games a lot. So we have that in common.
The symbiosis of being able to ignore one another in the same room.
It's worked for 10 years.
Yeah. That's the blueprint, son. What's your point?
Yeah. It hasn't been 10 years. It's like 9 years and 10 months.
Don't worry. We're going to find out whether or not Nori's watching the stream in a couple seconds.
That door flings open and I got something thrown at my head. Yeah.
You get it down to like the day.
Oh, I know today. It's imprinted on the inside of this ring.
Oh, that's cheating.
I don't need to take it off. So there's that.
Crib notes on the ring, man.
And I already have her gift for our anniversaries already lined up. I just have no idea what... Well, I have a pretty good idea of what to make for dinner that day. It's just more stuff that I do. What do people do to celebrate 10 years anniversaries? I don't know. Jill, come on.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to. Yeah,
Who's been...
I know. I'm trying to think what I did on my 10th anniversary with Steven. We probably just went out to a nice dinner and exchanged gifts. That's all I can think of. I was trying to think of, because last year we weren't able to. Something came up and we weren't even able to do anything. And yeah. So ours is in October 1st, actually, is when, that was the day we got married. It was October 1st.
Rohit, are you saying you should get one or you should get one?
I should get one, or I should get one.
Yeah.
It's where the emphasis is on that particular sentence.
I should get one? Oh, yeah. I mean, there's definitely player 3 who was like, I should get one.
There we
go.
Mir remembers I was sick last year, so that's why I never ended up doing it. And then Steve, I think, was sick. That was it.
Creepy. Creepy.
Get one to give later.
No, it's good that someone is taking notes, because I know I don't pay attention.
Yeah, I know. Mir knows everything about us. But yeah, I know. Well, Steve and I, we used to traditionally, we would go to Disneyland every year, you know, or like every other year and celebrate our anniversary. Oh, and I remember, because we got sick, we ended up doing Disneyland at Christmas time. Yeah, that was it. But that was 2 years ago. Sorry, it's been too long. We've been together since '97, so. It's like...
Wow, I was 11 years old.
Yeah. We got married in 2011.
I'm checking my email right now, and Humble has a cosplay like a pro book. What? Do you really need to bring books and do the dress ups?
Huh.
I know this isn't Saturday, but the show's already been recorded, so...
Careful. I'm still here.
Damn it. I was just wondering about the specific sections of the book. Does it include one about setting up a Patreon with...
Nope.
Aw, Theron, you could have been our baby. Aw. I know I'm your Auntie Jill. You're my nephew.
Sewing.
Oh yeah, you know,
sewing.
You know it
More
does.
sewing.
Oh yeah, lots of sewing.
Foam. Fabric. What is this gonna be, like advanced sewing? No.
Oh, all right. It's about crafts.
Yeah, there
All
is
right,
advanced
cool.
sewing. Okay. Yeah. makeup.
It's crafts and
morpho.
cosplay. Gotcha. All right, cool.
Yeah. Oh, jeez. Advanced sewing.
Steampunk cosplay.
DIY for fabric design. Oh, jeez, it keeps going.
Oh, it keeps going.
Wig styling. Advanced cosplay lights. All right, so you get your LEDs on.
Yeah, get your LEDs going.
What do we
Right.
get for $20? Bondo. All right. Man, Bondo gets stuff done if you don't want to mess with fiber.
Yeah. Doesn't smell as
guess-
bad either.
I guess this is a good time to release all this stuff because a lot of people are still at home and quarantining, and they can brush up on how to cosplay better for the next convention, or the next tourney, or the next Ren Fair.
I gotta get your Star
Or they
Trek
can set up a
uniforms ready for
Patreon
Ren
to-
Fair. Pedro, that sounds like a personal issue. It really does.
I can't share it because it's Wednesday, but
No, you can make yourself a note because we both know you'll forget by Saturday.
yes.
Man, that's good to think. Okay, what's going on Discord? I'm running the Canary beta, but you're saying, hey, download, there's a new client. Yeah, I know. You'll do that next time I
Yeah.
start you up, next Saturday.
Yeah, it's been telling me that too.
So I only have one edit to make. Everything else went reasonably smooth. So, what are you doing outside of, now that you've kind of woke up, Jill? What do you have planned for
Yeah.
today?
Yeah, so actually, Steve and I have a lot to do. First, watching the launch, and then we're gonna take a walk, and then I'm gonna come home, and we're gonna work on the garage more. Yeah. So since he got furloughed, we're
Cleaning?
he may he may have to be an independent contractor. We don't know. It's positive he's most likely gonna get be back to work, but years ago he was an independent contractor doing model building, so he's kind of beefing that up just in case, and because we have so many, we have a lot of contacts at other companies and everything, so
That's good to
so
do.
that's it's really cool because he's building a spray booth, and he's got a vacuum form machine, and he just got a new 3D printer, so he's getting things together.
So, Jill, with all that equipment lying around, how about you point a camera
I was about
at
to
Steve's
say,
hands
yeah.
while he's doing that?
You gotta
and
get his
put it on
Twitch channel
YouTube.
set up.
Yeah,
It's 2020. Yeah, you do. You need something like that.
that
Also,
would be cool. Good idea.
well, it's just something he should do. That's on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Discord. Don't run the app. Just run it in a tab. When it comes to running Discord, anywhere.
It keeps updating,
Yeah,
even if people post GIFs.
yeah, it's got that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on,
I'm so
Discord.
annoying
This has
with
been
the
an issue
scroll.
for several months now.
I know.
Come
So
on.
that's why I have Twitch on as well for chat, just in case. Or sometimes I use IRQ, ICQ.
IRQ.
Yes.
Good old IRQ chat.
ICQ was a thing. IRC. I'm sorry.
Let's push some interrupts too.
Yeah.
I need to. I'm gonna get this thing lined up, just so. About right there. So that means I gotta move this one up. Oh, that's the whole scene. No!
Yeah, this OBS does that sometimes. It's like, no, I specifically selected that element. Why are you moving the whole thing?
There's that, then where it gets really squirrely is when you start trying to be responsible and group everything. Then entire groups.
It's
want
like,
to move.
this group
Yeah.
is trying to snap onto that edge, but that group is trying to snap onto the other edge, and it goes.
So what I need to do is I'm going to take out that, then I'm going to move it. Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Yeah, I'll have
It
to.
was there.
Wait, it was? What?
It was in the fire intro bit. No, the stream intro
Bar.
bit. There.
There we go. So let's copy that. And what we're doing is you have two options. Is you can paste or you can duplicate. So we can drop a reference in there.
One replicates the changes amongst all the other scenes. The other one creates a new instance for that scene in specific.
Hierarchical linking, the child parenting process, as we call it in animation.
Okay, now I have to get this. Where's this? Oh, this is the other problem when you get stuff organized properly. Like, where is it at? Okay, you.
Oh
Yes, the
no,
follow
Steve
thing is
Husband
clipped
said it
now.
was. Sorry, didn't mean to. Steve Husband said the launch was scrubbed. Oh, weather. We'll have to wait to do that all over again. How sad.
Oh, at T-minus 1653.
Oh, yeah. They were just too worried about that storm.
Well,
Too much wind. It was really windy earlier, too.
when are they going to try to launch it again?
Yeah, Steve Husband, did they give a date? Probably no. 'cause
You're the
just
only
in
one
case.
watching this with audio, Steve, so.
Yeah.
There we go. That's aligned. That's aligned. That is probably not aligned. It's a little bit off. Just a bit.
Smack in the middle of the screen.
I don't even know.
Everything's cooched.
Sometimes I'm impressed by when something just cocks up to the point. I'm like, all right, fair enough.
Saturday. Good. So probably
Saturday?
during LGC proper? No.
Okay, that's on the right spot. That is... What are you hiding now? Ah! What's going on? Ah, I got it. A rough alignment. We're good. I'll fix it later. Beautiful people, I got to make a show, so I'm going to wish everyone
Yay.
a good evening.
Yes.
Yes.
And,
yes.
yeah. I'm not going to say stay out of trouble, just don't get caught. All right?
Bye.
Bye-bye, everyone. Love you.